Hi everybody. Hey, today I just wanted to do this video because I was sitting here thinking about how can we make 2018 the best year yet? I mean, really, how can we be more happy and content in our lives? Because really what makes us have a bad year is when we keep having things happen we don't want to have happen, right? When we can't get what we want. Maybe we want peace or just relief, or we want a situation to end, or we want something new to happen and we can't seem to make it happen. Have you ever noticed when, it's almost the things you want the most that can make you feel the worst when you can't get them. So today, how can we be more happy is by lining up with what we want. Because if we're not lined up with it, we're not going to get it. So how do you know and what does that mean? That's what I want to talk about today because it's so important and it's kind of this invisible thing that nobody knows about, or it's not yet known in the mainstream a whole bunch. So what causes us to be lined up or not is when everything in this universe functions by the law of the harvest. What is it? What you reap, what you sow, right? It's a magnetic universe. We are magnetic. Like attracts like. That's just a law. I mean, what's around us, the world doesn't ask, do you want it? I mean, if you're a match to it, you get it. And it's hard to find out how come we're a match to some things and not a match to other things. And what determines the magnetics and what's going on in our life is what's going on in our energy field. And our energy field is dominated by our emotions. Our emotions dictate what goes on in our energy field more than anything. And so we can tell what's going on in our energy field strictly by looking at our emotions. And so how you can know if you're lined up with your New Year's goals or whatever it is you want this year, you can know that by how you feel when you write it down. So what will happen is maybe you have this goal that you want to fight less with your partner, or you want to be more fit this year, or eat less sugar, or I don't know how you language your New Year's ideas, but you can kind of know what most people do is try to make what they want less so it hurts less if they don't get it. So try to close that gap from where they are to where they're going. So like if let's say you're having this really intense problem at work or with a certain person, whatever it is, what we try to do is we try to figure out how to solve that problem and how can we make it more, how can we get some relief? And the more you try to figure it out, the more you just feel bogged down in it. You feel all these problems and discomfort and everything like that. And all those heavy feelings of discouragement, like, gosh, I've tried everything. I'm miserable. How am I going to get there? And you can't see the way. And that creates anxiety like you would not believe when you feel like you can't get what you want and you can't find the solution. And the reason you can't find the solution is because you're not lined up with it. Because we've all had those moments. How we know we're lined up with something is if you need something or you want something and you're thinking about someone and all of a sudden they call you, or things line up and it's so easy and all of a sudden it's like, wow, I saw exactly what I wanted and I got it. It's easy. You're not in the way. You're lined up, and when you're lined up with the energy of the solution, you just sort of move toward it and it's easy. But what happens is the problems we get in keep us really locked in there. And so the solution is that to get out of the energy of the problem, whether it's a really difficult time in your marriage, really difficult time in your finances, and things feel impossible, or with your health, is you've got to get to a place of neutral with your feelings. You've got to work through all the thoughts and the feelings of hopelessness, past failures, sadness, whatever it is. Just, gosh, I need the solution, frustration. If you can get yourself to peace with where you are, that you'll be okay, if you can get to that neutral place, that turns the Titanic. It turns you away from the problem and opens the door for the solution. And it starts your energy lining up where you really want to go, who you want to be, and in the direction you want to be going. And all of a sudden miracles can happen, new solutions can happen, new people come into your life, and it is so much fun. But if you're not having fun and you're feeling awful, you're in the energy of the problem, and you're just bringing more problem to you. That's what is so frustrating, because you're trying so hard to figure it out. And the more you try to figure it out, the more upset you get. And so it's just about unraveling that heavy, all the stuff that's happened in the past, everything that's led you to believe that you'll never get out of this, or that unless you can think your way out, you'll never find the answer. That's just the thing we're all taught, is that we have to figure our problems out, and it keeps us stuck. And so that's what we do in sessions. That's really the core work of it, is getting yourself to unravel what's going on around the problem, getting yourself to come back to peace, to neutral, to accepting where you are, and just knowing you're okay here. If you know you're okay here, the door will open for the next place to come. And so if you feel like you're fighting with your life a lot, you don't have to do that. There's a way to find where you're going. So anyways, the best way to know if you're lined up with your goals is to stop and see, how do I feel when I write these down? When you look at what you want to have happen in 2018, do you feel light? Do you feel hopeful? Do you feel excited about it? Or do you kind of have this feeling in the back of just real deep in your gut, that's back of your mind, deep in your gut, like, it probably won't happen, or it's probably not going to get what I want? Then that's the stuff that's keeping you from getting where you want to go. That's the stuff that's weighing you down and keeping you in the energy of the problem. Because the problem is a very different energy from where you want to go to achieve what it is you want. And even if you don't have what you want yet, if you just feel like you are moving in a direction toward it, you feel wonderful, because at least you know you're moving. There's nothing worse than being stuck. So if you can relate to what I'm saying, and you would like some relief, and you really want to create something wonderful in 2018, and you want to line up with the energy of what it is you're looking for, what it is you really want. I mean, even if it's a happy marriage, a happy job, and it looks like that depends on other people, it really doesn't. All you have to ever do is shift you. If you can shift you, the energy you bring to a situation changes everything. And so that's wonderful news, because we have complete control over that. Whether you know how or not yet, really, it's okay if you don't. But just pay attention. Where are you at with your goals? How does it feel to read them? And that gives you the first clue of where you are in lining up with it. And if all you can do is kind of let go and trust that it will be worked out, there's a solution coming, that is a wonderful first step, because it takes the edge off, it takes the pressure off, and lets you just kind of feel your way toward it. So anyway, if you want some help with it, look into some breakthrough sessions, and we can do so much to help with that. So anyway, thanks for being in the group. Let's create a great year. Talk to you soon. Bye.